Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Happy Sunday to you on a summer August Sunday morning. This is Rob the Mad Hatter from the biggest show in the world, Sports Betters TV, talking to my boy, the evil genius of Major League Baseball, Dr. Dan. What's going on, Playboy?
What's going on, man? Just enjoying yesterday, my daughter's second birthday. It was wonderful.
Oh, nice,
Happy
man.
birthday to her. Hey, I got to say one thing, kid. Do you remember on Friday when I popped on, I was talking about how the Yankees look old, especially Carlos Beltran can't catch up to a fastball?
Yep.
I must be the jinx with that because, dude, I got to tell you, Carlos Beltran, when he hit that home run the other day, it was off a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Carlos Beltran had not hit a home run off a fastball going faster than 96 miles an hour since 2008.
Wow. 7 years, man.
7 years.
Unbelievable.
So I guess, I jinxed him right into winning a series for the Yankees. Pretty surprising.
Yeah, absolutely, man. They've already got the first 2 out of 3, and they got one more to go, man. But, that particular little winning streak for the Yankees did not change the future odds at all. They're basically the same. Given the Toronto Blue Jays now the top team, odds-wise, the overall number one favorite to win the World Series, Dan.
Yeah, look, I am starting to realize that the Yankees have the better manager.
Okay.
I think that's the edge that they have. I still think that when it comes down to it, Toronto's offense is still better.
Yep.
I think the defenses are about equal. They're not. None of them are like great, but they're not terrible. Look, I still think Toronto comes down and wins this because I think their pitching is better now.
Yeah, man. Well, the Yankees managed to beat them with David Price as a starter. So
yeah, and that just shows you, how crazy baseball is, which is why, everybody wanted to roll on that game, and I couldn't roll on that game. I have a very hard time reading these series with teams like this, especially teams that are look, the Yankees have been up and down and up and down. They've held on to a lead that they built, and the Blue Jays have obviously been on fire. But now losing 2 in a row after the 11-game winning streak, you start to wonder if some of their older guys might be getting a little tired. But
I don't know, man. It's still a little.
No, I know. But you worry about that with the Yankees. The Blue Jays still have a lot of young guys. But I just think as far as situational managing goes, I would have to take Girardi.
Okay. All right, I could get that.
That's the one thing, and in the playoffs, that can mean a lot.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Well, it all comes down to coaching and managing sometimes. You know what I mean?
It does.
Yep,
hey, man, I got to say one thing.
Yes.
How about the King losing his crown yesterday?
Oh, my God.
Dude, 10 runs. Red Sox putting up a 22 spot.
Oh, my God. That's King Felix, man. My God. Woo! Unbelievable, man. And how many pitchers did they go through in that game, Seattle? Giving up 22 runs. They had to go through at least 5, 6.
Yeah, I didn't even, honestly, I wasn't even paying attention because it was funny. I was going on my usual fade Wade Miley, but obviously I couldn't because the juice was too high and I just didn't think it was appropriate. And look, the thing is then I was like, I should take the Red Sox. And I felt this way the last 2 days. And, best of luck out there. I'm sure everything will be fine with John Farrell. Obviously stepping away from managing the Red Sox due to being diagnosed with lymphoma.
Oh, sure.
For those of you who don't know about that.
No, okay.
So he stepped away from managing the team. And I immediately sat there and said, these guys are going to murder them. But, I felt like the Red Sox are going to go out there yesterday and today and all this and absolutely beat the crap out of the Mariners because John Farrell is well-liked, well-respected. He did not retire. He's expected to come back. If you don't remember, actually, this happened to John Lester. Remember, in 2006, John Lester was diagnosed with lymphoma, took a year off. He's fine now, obviously, and came back to the game. Farrell will do the same, but, I had this feeling that they were just going to explode, basically in deference of their manager. And it happened, but I can never take Wade Miley ever, ever, ever again.
Gotcha, man. Hey, you know what? It is what it is, Dan. And let's just talk real quick about a couple of things here. So we said on Friday, and thank you for coming on Friday and making a guest appearance. It really helped me out big time, dude, because your Cubs play on Friday was off the chain, and I tailed you, and I was very happy to start the day off like that.
Yeah, a little bit of a stomach ache.
Yeah, big time, man. Like 5 or 6 lead changes in that game.
I know. But, I remember I texted you because at one point the Cubs were down a run in like the 4th or 5th inning. I can't remember if it was at that point 3-2 or 4-3, something like that. And I look and I get the live line, Cubs like plus 165. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
So I had, and I hammered it. I'll be honest, I hammered it on that, and that really set me up nice for the weekend.
Yep.
But man, the Cubbies are right now the hottest team in baseball.
Yeah, apparently, dude. Apparently, they're definitely doing their thing. And what are they? They're a couple games over 500 now, man. What are they like?
More than that, the Cubs are like.
I know. I say a couple, meaning facetious.
60, yeah, they're 19 games over 500 now.
Wow, unbelievable. And I got news for Vegas, man. If they somehow manage to win the World Series, I think Vegas is in trouble because from what I understand, they sell more Cubs tickets to win the World Series than any other team.
Yeah, and the future is always crazy on them because it hasn't happened, Here's the thing, I know the Nasties are playing absolutely pitiful right now. But the Giants, you still got to remember, the Cubs did sweep a full 4-game set off the Giants. They took care of business against the Brewers like you got to. Now they're at that little, battle for Chicago series against the White Sox, and they've won 2 in a row. And, I love me some Cubbies right now. They've been looking good. Even when, Arrieta last night did not look great, but their offense is just picking it right up. I love Joe Maddon as a manager. I think he's one of the best, especially when dealing, probably the best in baseball in dealing with young talent. Props to the Cubs. I thought they were a year away. I think they're a legit contender right now.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Well, the way it looks right now, guys, we talked about it on Friday, that now is the time where we got to take futures very seriously, okay? And I have managed to get myself in a situation where all the underdogs pay crazy money. And, if you want to get the numbers, feel free to hit me up on a DM. I'd be more than happy to send you a picture of my spreadsheets. But now is the time where we start pounding the favorites. And I got to be honest with you. The cases of Royals, they have 31 games left to win to secure a playoff spot. So what you could do is actually start betting them a little bit here and there, popping that money on the futures as you win and go from there. And the Cardinals have only 28 games left to win to sneak in, brother.
Yep. It's pretty crazy. Oh man, I'll be honest. You know who I hammered last night a little bit more?
Who's that?
Those Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks had like 225 to 1. What did you get at your book?
That it was like 220.
Yeah, that's about right. Well, I got them paying 110,000, and I've already almost faded right out of that bet. So, if they emerge, hey, they just can't. It just seems like they can't get around. They can't get past 500.
They're allergic to being 500. But I think the best cure for that allergy is playing the Braves. They get the Braves again today. I think, like I said, I think they should win. Then they got to go on the road to the Pirates and the Reds, and then, the Cardinals at home. So, Look, the thing is that second wild card, if you go on a 5-6 game winning streak, we'll see what happens.
You're right. You're right there. You're right there.
Long shot, but hey, we'll see.
No, definitely, man. And I put some more money on the Twins at plus at 200 to 1 the other day. So hey, it is what it is, man. We got to just kind of keep it moving, and we're going to start pounding the respective teams like the Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals now as we win, as we make profits.
And guys, look. You can call me a homer all you want. Normally, if I was a homer, I wouldn't do this because it'd be like the ultimate jinx move. But I'm going to – look, you got to start pounding the Mets.
Yeah.
And not even because – look, the Mets have been a great team. I know they lost 2 extra inning games the last 2 days to the Pirates, who look really good. Won't lie, their bullpen's awesome. But the Nationals are straight up collapsing, guys.
Big time.
And this is the signs, and I know it's – it's 4 games, but the Mets, I think, have the second easiest schedule left.
Yep, exactly.
So, I would just make that suggestion. I think the odds are still in your favor a little bit. You start getting 6, 7, 8 games over 500. Remember, it's a two-man race right now. The Braves are like 11 back.
Yeah.
In third place. So, I'd start pounding that. Like you said, you got to start pounding your Astros, your Angels. I know you're in love with the Rangers still.
I do like the Rangers, man, and there's a reason why the books have not made them like a over 50-1 shot at it for like several weeks now. I've been stalking it, dude. I had it at one time. It was at 200, and I did not pull the trigger. It was at 200-1 like about a month and a half ago.
This is your Serengeti.
Yeah, man, because they beat up on Chris Archer last night, man. So
I know. Look, look, I got bit on that. I thought Archer, after struggling with control his last night out, was going to come out and have a dominant start. He does not look great. I don't know if he's a really young guy. I don't know if just getting late in the season is catching up with him, and it was hot as absolutely anything out there. But I think the reason why you're not seeing a crazy jump on the Rangers is because Darvish is going to start like a throwing program soon. I don't know. And I guess John Daniels announced the other day that he's going to be having some rehab starts. I don't know if they're going to try and push him back for the end of this year. Okay. I know he had the Tommy John, really quick, but it's like you only get so many shots. So if he's ready, do they throw him out there?
I don't know, man. We'll see, because I know they didn't sell anybody during the trade deadline, man. They actually picked up Mr. Cole Hamels, so we'll see what ends up happening with them. I think they got the bats to make some noise towards the end and play. If they don't get in, play spoiler.
Yeah, Yeah, and you also got Derek Holland that could be coming back too. Remember, he tore a muscle in his shoulder. And he's back to throw. So you have some guys that could come back. But no, Darvish will not be coming back. There's no way. They just said that. But, Holland, everybody forgets, could be really, really dominant. So let's see what happens. The Rangers, like I said, I still don't think they make it. But they're going to piss a lot of teams off.
Yes, definitely, man. Speaking of the magic number as far as wins are concerned, so in the AL, the Yankees, Astros, and Blue Jays all have to win 38 games to guarantee themselves in the playoffs, man. And in the NL, we already talked about the Cardinals. Pittsburgh has to win 36 more games. The Cubs, 37 more games. The Dodgers and your New York Mets, 39 games. So those are your top teams right now as far as the top four in each respective division. And since there was a tie in the Dodgers and Mets, I had to allude to the top five in the NL. But dude, that's where you start. That's where you start making some money, kid. And wait till you guys see at the end of the season where your boy is at. That's all I gotta say about that, man. Because I need a major win here, brother. So big ups to everybody that's out there retweeting our show. We appreciate it, guys. We got let's see, OJFB. We got NFL Fans 215 or 2015. My bad. Got AL versus NL. Got my man Irvin out there. Clown Man Swaggy. What's up, kid? I got Find a Vegas Bookie. I've got let's see who else. James Knoll out there. Got Joseph Del Rosario. I've got let's see who else is on here. NFL Fantasy Plus. What's going on, guys? Looking forward to some fantasy football this year for sure. Heavy 365, Tyrone Reed, C. Rodriguez Jr., Ciroc King J, my girl Vegas Girl 92661. Let's see. So Dan, you know what? It's been a pretty decent road for me so far this weekend, man. I did put out the Toronto Blue Jays and Yankees over yesterday that did lose. Backed it up with the D-backs that did win. So I'm looking forward to it. I gotta make some money today, man. So let's get right into it.
I hear you, man. Let's do it real quick. I just want to say, talking about those fantasy guys. If anybody wants to do like a year-long SBTVNation, I'm thinking about maybe putting together a fantasy. We'll figure out all the details. But an NFL fantasy season long. Something for the nation, maybe first 10 or something. So awesome. Anybody who wants to get in, DM me, and we'll get it done. All
right. Big ups to JDH24, hashtag SBTVNation, and Direct Sports Solutions, along with Revelation of Random. What's going on, guys? Come on, it's here. All right, man. So let's get right into this, dude. Dan, I love the card today.
Yeah.
I love the baseball card, and I don't normally say that.
That are saying that I got rolled yesterday. Hey, it's one day. It's one day. Today's a new day.
Yes.
I normally don't get bit twice in a row, and hey, if you've been following my plays all year, you're happy. You know that's my system.
Oh,
I know
definitely.
Hatter's got his system. My system is to play a lot of plays every day and maximize the potential and hit a lot of in-game run lines that, hey, those happen so quickly, guys, that I can't possibly, tweet them out when I necessarily take them, or I'm going to miss the opportunity to take them. So
yeah, right.
Look at your in-game run, look at your in-game line. If you're going to bet a game, make sure you can at least, follow it, online or something. Because you got to be hitting those.
All right, so we got a game. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 during between the 1 and 2 o'clock hour. We got the New York Yankees at the Toronto Blue Jays leading off today. New York with Luis Severino on the mound, and Toronto Drew Hutchinson. Toronto minus 140 with an under-over of 9 runs. Dan, they pumped the total up now because I think that this game is looking like an overplay, but I think there's way better games on the ticket to take. But you got the two top offenses in baseball, Dan. What's going on here?
Yeah. Oh, man. I haven't made one play on this series. And there's a reason for that because I've been sitting there. And I wanted to kind of play Tanaka yesterday, but I just wasn't feeling it. I know I tried to talk a bunch of people off the Jays ledge yesterday.
Yep.
I had a bunch of people hit me up saying, I'm taking the Jays, I'm taking the over. I was like, I don't know, man. Look, thing is with Hutchinson, he has a 5.26 ERA, but he's 11-2.
Unbelievable.
Had you done something like, did you go up to Mount Olympus and, smoke the peace pipe with the gods? Because that's crazy. His last 7, he's 3-1 with a 5.89.
Unbelievable, dude. Yeah, everything is pointing over today, huh?
Everything's pointing over, and part of the problem with Hutchinson is he can't go deeper in the games. He only went 5 in 2 out of his last 3 starts, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned in home against Kansas City and Minnesota. No decision, 1 win on the other, and then remember home against Oakland his last time out, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned.
Yep.
I don't know, man. He throws a lot of pitches. I like the over in this game, but I'm just going to listen to my gut and stay away from everything that this game has to offer.
All right, Dan, sounds good. When you got an under-over of 9, it's, for these respective offenses, it's probably not that hard to do, but
every game has gone under in the last 2, in this series and the last series. It's been crazy. You don't expect that at all, but this is very much, you watch the series like the Mets and the Pirates, the Blue Jays and the Yankees. These are like how playoff series go. It's like teams get down to business and, they're those nerves. This is for first place. And you have a Blue Jays team that's never really been there before. I think the last time they made the playoffs was in 93 or 94.
Got it.
It's been a long, long time for those boys. 20 plus years. So, that's where the Yankees have a little bit of the edge. But, you have Severino on the mound today, who's looked really good. He's 0-1, but he has a 2.45 ERA. Remember, he was one of the Yankees' untouchable prospects. He would not be traded for anything, which is why they didn't get something done during the deal. Guys, tread very carefully on this game.
All right, just real quick, when you look at when Hutchinson is on the mound here, man, you've got 4 of the last 5 games he has pitched have gone over, and 6 of the last 8 have gone over when he's been on the bump, Dan. So something to take a look at, man. Those totals have not been 9, though. They've been like 8.5, 7.5. There was a 6.5 in there, and he must have been versus King Felix. So we will go from there in Seattle. So under over of 9 runs makes sense, but 9 runs is a lot of runs. If you catch a 5,
to me like you're playing a push play there.
Yeah, got it. Okay, the next one I got on the ticket is Pittsburgh at your New York Mets, and I'm kind of feeling this game. I'm kind of feeling putting this game in with something else, and I'm going to tell you why. Pittsburgh has Jeff Locke on the mound, which you already know how I feel about Jeff Locke. I think he's booty, and I think that Pittsburgh bats are so middle of the road. And the Mets are putting on Matt Harvey on the mound. So Mr. Met Harvey, who I like to allude to, is he's been very dominant, man, and the Mets are minus 165 with an under-over of 7. And listen, 165, I'm not going to take that by itself. I'm going to parlay that with something. And I'm feeling Matt Harvey all day long. Dan, what about you?
So Harvey, everybody remembered, there was panic in the city at the beginning of the year. They were like, oh my God, this guy's coming off Tommy John. Now, I want to say something. The year Adam Wainwright came off Tommy John, he ended the year with a respectable, I think, like 500 record, but like a 4.71 ERA.
Yep.
Matt Harvey is now 11-7 with a 2.61 ERA. He has 135 strikeouts in 148 innings and a .99 whip. In his last 7 starts, he's 4-2 with a 1.85. I mean, 39 strikeouts in 48 innings. So he's been absolutely dominant. He hasn't given up a run, I believe, in 2 games now. The last run he gave up was against Washington when he gave up 1 earned. Hey, look, man, I'm going to pair this with something myself.
Yep.
But, I've been on the Mets this whole series, and they've had a chance to win every damn game, especially with, like, that Cespedes throw yesterday, which is the best throw I've ever seen. Maybe the Rick Ankiel throw from a few years ago. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube it, Google it, whatever. But Jeff Locke has been, you're right, man, Booty is the word.
Yes.
In his last 7, 2-3 with a 4.17. At Cincinnati, 5 hits, 3 earned, only 5 innings. His last start out was at St. Louis, where he went 5, 7 hits, 4 earned, walked 3. He's walked 3 guys in 2 of his last 3 starts. You do that against the Mets, you're going to get your head kicked in.
I agree. So I'm going to take your New York Metropolitans and put them in a parlay with another team that is near the bottom of our screen here. So let's continue. At Boston, which I really don't care about this matchup, Dan. I got to be honest with you. Seattle, Vidal Nuno, and Boston, Henry Owens, who I haven't heard of yet. Boston minus 127, under over of 9.5 runs. I think the books are a little shook after the last 2 Boston games, man. My God.
Yeah, you had some crazy people out there like me, taking those adjusted overs. Like, taking an over of 25 runs at like plus 10,000. It's like the books the other day got shook when that one guy played, all the home teams when they won for the first time. I don't remember. I think it was at the Nugget out there in Vegas, but it was a $78 bet for $100K.
Wow.
So when crazy stuff happens, the books get a little shook.
So far in 2 games.
Henry Owens is interesting because he's had 1 mediocre start and 1 really good start. He's a rook. He was actually, he's drafted by the Red Sox in the first round in 2011. He's supposed to be a really good up-and-coming, guy. He's a lefty. And here's the thing. I like the Sox and the over today. Because Vidal Nuno, for those of you who don't remember, I'd have to look up versus Boston, but he was part of the Yankees before he went out there. So Boston is very, very, very aware of this guy. He's been able to get through on some guile. He has a 2.45 ERA right now, but, his career stats are, nowhere near that. He has a 4 ERA career, 3-16.
Got it.
So, and that's over 226 innings, which is basically a season. So you're talking about a 3-16 pitcher against the hottest offense in baseball right now. Can I say that?
Yeah, right. In the last 2 games, anyway. Yes, definitely. 37 runs in 2 games. So big ups to Christos and Total Sports Edge, along with Getting Aussie Bookie. What is going on? And Frankie Fingers is out there. Good morning to you. My boy Tommy Tommy King is feeling San Diego, and we'll get into that game later on.
Yeah,
we got, Oakland at Baltimore. Oakland has been a kind of a pain in the ass in Baltimore's side, but Baltimore's managed to sneak the wins and get the job done the last 2 nights in a row. But Oakland has Kendall Graveman on the mound versus Baltimore's Y-Yen Chen, I believe, is the guy that gets more starts than any Major League pitcher I've ever seen. Baltimore -1. What do they got, like a 3-man rotation, and that's it?
I don't know, man. He's just like a workhorse.
He pitches like every fourth day, dude. Let's see. Baltimore -180 with an under-over of 8.5 runs. Dan, I think Baltimore wraps this series up and gets the W here, but talk to me about what your opinion is.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Graveman in his last 7. And guys, those of you who look at the total season can't do that betting individual baseball games. Got to look at recent stuff. Last 7 starts, last 3, right? So for the last 7, he's 1-4 with a 4.71.
Wow.
That's Graveman. So, hey, would you rather have him or Josh Donaldson? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Baltimore
like
4
I said, worst trade ever.
Baltimore 4-1 in the last 5 games at home. And what's their home record, Dan? Do you have that in front of you?
I do not.
I know they're pretty badass at home. Baltimore is.
They are a good home team, and here's the thing: Baltimore, is a veteran. I mean, 2 walk-offs in a row by Chris Davis. That team is just on fire right now.
Yeah.
And you have a guy in Graveman that's coming in, and he's been bad. And Chen had that bad start at home last time out against Detroit, but he's had 2 solid road starts in a row, especially this last one where he went 7 1/3, 3 hits, 1 earned at Seattle. His last 7, he's 2-2 with a 4.04. I actually really I like the Orioles and the over, but I can't play it at -180. I might look to pair it.
Pair it or do a run line or a -1, something like that.
I might pair them with like Milwaukee or something.
Oh, Taylor Jungmann for Milwaukee, huh?
Against
Versus
the Bills and terrible harangue.
Oh, okay, man. We'll get to that game momentarily, dude. So all right. So far we're feeling the juicy favorites so far to make some parlay magic happen. We got the Arizona Diamondbacks at the Atlanta Braves. Arizona has Robbie De La Rosa versus Atlanta's Shelby Miller. And Shelby Miller, dude, is a underdog at home, man. Arizona -120 with an under-over of 7 runs, Dan.
Yeah.
What you got here, man? Arizona, like you said, is, let's see, what's their record? 57-58. So every time they get close to 500, they kind of sneak back. So be careful with them. What you got?
Yeah, be real careful. And Shelby Miller, man, he's just a dude you got to feel bad for. 2.48 ERA, but he's 5-9. If that dude was on the Blue Jays, he'd be like 20-0 already.
Yeah, right.
You got a guy in the Blue Jays with a 6 ERA who's 11-2, and this poor bastard is 5-9 with a 2.48. De La Rosa. I'm really shocked at this line. I know the Braves, they are garbage. But at home, they're a little less garbage. And, I mean, against San Francisco and against Miami in his last 2 starts, he gave up 2 earned in each game. Problem is, he's 0-5 in his last 7 with a 3.16. That's bad luck. Yes. I mean, that's just... I really want to take the Braves here. I really
You know what, Dan? It makes a little bit of sense. I'm not gonna mess with this game. I had the Braves in a future, faded out of it, and got all my money back now. So if they make a run, it's basically free money at this point because it's with house money. But looking at it, let's see. Arizona is 3-12 straight up in the last 15 games when playing on the road in Atlanta, man.
And the thing is it's not like they've dominated the series. They've lost 2 games in this series. I think.
I think they split. So, no, it's been 1-1 so far.
1-1?
Yes.
Okay, 1-1. But, yeah, so it's not like they won the first 2 games and they're just, like, destroying these guys.
Right.
I'm really... at plus 108, which is where I'm seeing it right now, I got to... Look, the Diamondbacks, they've been playing good baseball. And like I said, I pounded them a little because I think they have a chance to go on a little bit of a run, but you got your pitcher on the mound. The Braves have been scoring some runs. I think they finally get this guy a win.
All right, I think you might be onto something there, but I'm not going to play it, Dan. There's just so many better games than that. And
I hear you.
When I look at the smart chart here, Arizona's pretty much superior in every single statistical category I'm looking at, man. So, I think I got to go easy with that one. Let's see with the in-city rivalry here in the windy city of Chicago, man. The Chicago Cubs at the Chicago White Sox. The Cubs have Dan Herron versus my boy, Mr. Chris Sale, over in the White Sox territory. The White Sox minus 180 with an under-over of 7.5. Chris Sale's been scaring me as of late, man.
Dude, I'm all over the Cubs here.
You're all over the Cubs plus 160?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I'm going to ride it till the wheels fall off. Look, guys, this is what I'm saying, though. I've already won the first 2 games of the series.
Yep.
Like, smashed it. So, if I lose this game, I'm not thrilled, obviously, but I'm absorbing it because I've already dominated the series.
Got it.
Guys, Chris Sale, yeah, his last start out against the Angels at home.
It was good.
7 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned.
Yep.
Good, not great. Not great. His last 7 overall, he's 4-3 with a 4.79. Come on.
Yeah.
At Boston and against Tampa Bay,
Smoke.
at home, he gave up 7 earned runs.
Yep, I know. He gave up 7 in a row, yeah. Yeah. Or seven, two games he gave up 7 runs.
In his last 7 starts, his whip is all the way up to 1.3, and it's been sitting at 107 all year. So, like, that's precipitous. There's something wrong with my man Chris Sale that I don't think the White Sox want to admit. I mean, he has not looked sharp. I know his last start. You know, everybody wants to look at it, and they say, oh, you know, he looked okay. Yeah, he looked okay, but the Angels have been terrible lately.
Yep.
Especially offensively. And then you have Herron, who, look, his last 3 games have been home against the Nasties. He only gave up an earned run in 6 innings. At Pittsburgh, 3 earned in 7 hits. Okay, you know, Pittsburgh's been good. And then against Milwaukee at home, 3 earned and 5 hits. But, you know, in his last 7 starts, he's 2-2 with a 3.79. Puts him a run better than Sale over the same stretch. Whip is about the same. But I also think when you got Herron in this, in this race, I don't know, man. The Cubs are just spitting magic right now, and I'm going to ride it.
All right, sounds good. Real quick for the novice baseball players, novice baseball playing gamblers out there, can you explain what a whip is, Dan?
Yeah, a whip is walks, hits per innings pitched. So it's basically an aggregate of how many guys you let on base.
Right. It's an on-base percentage, basically, for
pitch.
innings per pitch, per pitcher. Yep.
One, a whip of 1 means that, you're allowing a walker and a hit per inning. Which, so your best pitchers in the league are going to be under 1, 0.9.
Yep.
Things like that. And then once you start seeing pitchers that get up into the 1.2s, 1.3s, that's when you start worrying about them a little bit. Because if you allow close to a runner and a half per inning, that means you're giving them runs.
Yeah, man, you got runners on first and second or first and third or whatever, and having all kinds of stomach aches when you're betting the game.
Right, and it's also a good way, though, to judge a pitcher. If he has a high whip but a low ERA, you trust him in high velocity situations. The guy's got runners on second and third with 2 outs. He doesn't give up that 2-out hit. Things like that you can make inferences from it as well.
Yeah, he knows how to get out of jams. Exactly.
Right,
let's see. A couple of nasty games coming up. We got Philadelphia at Milwaukee. Philadelphia with Aaron Harang, who's been atrocious, man. My God. Versus Milwaukee's Taylor Jungmann, who's been somewhat decent this year. Milwaukee minus 180 with an under-over of 8.5 runs. Dan, I have a feeling I know where you're going with this one.
I love me some Jungmann, man.
All right. Yep. Sounds good.
His last 3 starts, they've all been the same. And 2 of them have been starts against the Cubs. And he gave up 2 earned in each of those. He gave up 2 earned in 7 innings to San Diego. His last 7 starts, 4-3 with a 2.18.
Okay.
Right. That's why I like Milwaukee. And then you got Aaron Harang, who I know for like a season and a quarter, we loved Aaron Harang.
Yeah, right.
He was making us money. He was the only guy that was winning for the Phils. And in his last 7, he's 1-6 with a 7.75 ERA.
Unbelievable, man. He needs to do some kind of like, hypnosis or something like that. Kind of get his groove back. I think what he needs to do is retire. You think so, huh?
Probably. Look, I know he's got a bad team around him, and I don't expect him to go out there and be lights out. but especially on the road, he's especially atrocious. And I mean, he's 5-13 overall this year, but in his last 15 starts, he's 3-11 with a 5.26. I mean, his ERA is ballooned all the way up to a total of 4.5 with a whip of 1.37.
Got it. I
don't know. And this is what he does, over his career, and he doesn't have a team to back him up. So I'm going to ride the Brewers here.
All right, man. Would you consider a first 5 with the Brewers?
No. And here's the thing: at minus 162, it's a little scary. I'm probably going to pair the Brewers and the Orioles into a nice 2-team parlay.
Okay, sounds good, man. If you were to get a first 5, I think it makes a lot of sense because I've noticed Mr. Aaron Harang gets beat up early in the games.
Yeah.
Like, bottom of the first,
Aaron
bottom
Harang
of the second.
Would get beat up at any time right now.
Yeah. All right, a couple more games we got on the ticket. Actually, a lot more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 total. 7 total, my bad. 8. Actually, 8, my bad. Cleveland at Minnesota. Cleveland, Carlos Carrasco versus Minnesota's Tom Malone. And Cleveland on the road favored minus 130 with an under-over of 8 in the Twins building, man. Dan, this Cleve team is not that good.
No, and, that game just shocked. I mean, it really shocked me. I mean, you had a guy for the Twins who had a 27 ERA.
Yep.
Look, hey, I guess you're going to lose games like that. That happens. But, dude, Carrasco has been dominant. Look, in his last 7, he's 1-2 with a 3.26. But in his last 3, at Oakland, complete game, 2-hitter, 1 earned.
Wow.
At the Angels, complete game, 1-hitter, shutout. Last start out home against the Yankees, 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts.
Makes sense.
Dude has been dominant. And then you got Tommy Malone, who in his last 3 starts gave up a 5 spot to Oakland on the road, a 4 spot to the Stanks at home, and a 4 spot to Seattle at home. So the Indians make all the sense in the world here. I mean, they really do. Minus 1. I got to ride it again. I mean, Carrasco's been so good. He's been so good.
I don't know if I agree with you on that, Dan, because the Minnesota Twins are dope at home, dude.
I know, but they, it's not like they've been like that as of late.
Okay. All right, I hear you. Let me just look at some trends.
And like I said, any other pitcher, you know what? I'm just going to keep myself away from it just because I promised myself I just wouldn't put another bet on the Indians.
Yeah, don't. There's plenty of games, Dan. There's plenty of games. You know what I mean? You're $100 better. Dude, if you're $100 better with Cleveland, you're down $1,925 on the year. So keep that in the back of your brain, brother. Next one we have is the Detroit Tigers at the Houston Astros. Houston gave up that they should have won. They tied the game up 1-1 and ended up losing to the Detroit Tigers 4-2 at the end of the game. Houston minus 200 with Michael Fyers on the mound versus Detroit's Matt Boyd with an under-over of 8 here. I think the Houston Astros get the job done. I just don't see Michael Fyers giving minus 200 juice, Dan. I know he's all right, but for Milwaukee, he just had that, he had that one start there, and then he came in as reliever.
I think it's because of Boyd.
Boyd's been bad. What do you got for numbers on him?
I mean, Boyd is 1-3 with a 7.11 ERA. His WHIP is 1.74.
Wow. So he's letting up almost two base runners per inning.
Yeah, but remember, he had that one great start against K-Sizzle.
Yep.
But then Kansas City came back and absolutely, blew his doors off. But, yeah, he's had 4 overall starts. He's 1-3 with a 7.11 ERA, a 1.74 WHIP, 31 hits in 19 innings.
Unbelievable.
He doesn't walk anybody, but, he doesn't need to when he can just get smoked. Oh, God, I can't do it at minus 190. I think they win and win pretty handily. But, look, Houston bit me yesterday along with a lot of people.
Well, you know what? As bad as the Detroit Tigers are, Dan, they're still one of the top in the league in batting average and on-base percentage.
And you got Cabrera back now. And they still have an outside shot at the second wild card.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna happen.
Well, with Miggy back, you never know. I mean, if he can come back and go on a tear, that dude can carry a team.
Yep.
I mean, he can carry a whole team, and he's done it before. It just depends on how healthy he really is.
Got it. I think.
But yeah, let's just stay away from
I think the Houston Astros get the job done here. Houston Astros -1 run would probably get you down to a -130, and that would make me more comfortable, to be honest with you. So, especially with Matt Boyd.
-1.5 is plus 105. I kind of like, because I think if they win, they absolutely bust out today.
Okay.
But I also think that the over might be the right play here. It's only at 8.
Not bad.
Only at 8.
Okay.
I know some of these games have been low scoring for these teams, but if anybody's going to score, it's going to be against.
Page updates.
Do what you got to do.
What do you got for Let's see here. Hold on one second. All right.
I'm not looking at the same
Miami
game.
at St. Lucia today. Miami, David Phelps versus St. Lucia's Carlos Martinez. And if you've been betting the St. Louis Cardinals, as soon as we started saying pound them on Friday, I think you've been pretty happy, man. And, take that money and start putting them on futures with St. Lucia because they only got to win 28 more games to secure a playoff spot. And St. Lucia has Carlos Martinez. Let's see. Miami has David Phelps, like I alluded to earlier. Carlos Martinez has been really good, 12-3 with a 2.65 ERA.
I know. I'm looking at doing a little bit something here with the Cardinals and Greinke today, pairing that up.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's one of my games that I want to talk about, going further.
Yeah. I think that's my pairing for that. But what I'm going to do is I might even throw the Mets in there because the Mets at -160, I know they lost 2 in a row, but again, it's Harvey Day. The offense has looked okay. They've been clutch, just not coming up in extra innings. I might even throw a 3-teamer together with those 3 and get some real good plus money.
All right. My boy Direct Sports Solutions is all about going against Boyd as well, so we might go ham on that. But let's see. St. Louis 4-1 in their last 5 games, one of the best home teams in Major League Baseball. Versus one of the worst road teams, as you just referred to, Dan. St. Louis is superior in everything. You're up almost $2,600 if you're a $100 better betting the St. Lucia Cardinals every single game. So you know what? When I look at this, man, obviously St. Lucia's definitely the play here, but you can't take them by themselves. -245. You got to do like a -1 or a -1.5 to make that thing work. And I don't think Carlos Martinez. He's been pretty good as of late, man. So I think we'll continue that going.
And Phelps has been terrible in his last 7. He's 0-4 with a 4.6. Martinez in his last 6 is 3-1 with a 2.25.
When you look at the next game, this actually made me pretty happy, dude. I like watching the Tampa Bay Rays go down in flames because they cost me a lot of money this year. And the Texas Rangers, it's even nicer when I got a potential underdog in a wild card race beating up on him. Tampa Bay has Drew Smiley on the mound versus Texas, Yovani Gallardo. Pretty much even money all across the board with an under-over of 9 runs. That's a lot of runs for this. That's a lot of runs for this, Dan. You're not touching it, right?
No.
Smiley with a 2.70 ERA and Gallardo has a 3.33. And Tampa Bay's offense is not all that, man. 3.74 average all year long. Texas, they know how to hit the ball, 4.5 runs per game.
I actually lean the Rangers here because I think after that loss last night, Archer, that like I was telling you before the show, there's something wrong with that dude.
I agree.
He hasn't looked right. And I think Gallardo here at -106. He is 8-9, but he's got a 3.33. Smiley, 0-1. 0-1. He's done nothing. This year. He's 26 years old. His major league stats are 19-14 with a 3.23. He's been good, and he's faced good teams. That's what scares me. Is against Toronto, he only went 4 2/3, but he only gave 4 hits and 2 earned. At the Stanks, remember, he went 6 innings, only gave 4 hits, 2 earned. And then at Boston, 2 hits and 1 earned in his last start. So he hasn't gotten the wins. But that's what scares me. Gallardo's last time out at Minnesota, 5 2/3, 2 hits, no earned at Minnesota, but he did walk 3. In his last 7, though, he's 1-3 with a 5.5. I think you stay away from this game completely.
Got it. All right, man. Like I said, kind of feeling the way Texas has been playing. I got to be honest.
I like Texas. That's the thing. I really do lean Texas. I think Texas gets the job done here today, and I think, like I said, when you lose that game yesterday, and I know, look, momentum is only as good as your next day's starter. But you got to be feeling that. You got to go out there and expect to get that win on Archer pitches.
Yeah, right.
So, I lean Texas, but I just can't pop on it.
Yeah, it's got to be deflating to you, man, when your ace gets blown up, like especially with Seattle and what's his name yesterday.
Yeah, especially twice in a row now. And the last time was at home, and when you're sitting out there and as a player, you're probably like, man, this guy doesn't look right. If we don't have him, we're really screwed.
Exactly.
And it just screws everything up.
Right. Going to the next one, the Washington Nasties, who've been absolutely sliding. This may be the epic collapse that I was referring to a couple of weeks ago here, which, I do have them in the future. They pay pretty well, but hey, you know what? I expect them to go on a run at some point, though, Dan. I expect them to turn it around, but I don't think it's going to be today.
It might be too late.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be today, though, because they got Joe Ross versus Madison Bumgarner for San Francisco in San Fran. San Fran minus 170 with an under-over of 7 runs. Wow.
Yeah, and I actually got that all the way down to 150 for San Fran.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
And what are you going to do with it?
I'm going to play it.
You're going to play it?
I'm going to play it. I'll play. I'm going to play some Madison Bumgarner here. Look, I've wrapped up the series play yesterday, which paid out like crazy plus money for this, which I was really surprised about. Joe Ross has been okay. His last 7, he's 3-3 with a 3.22. San Francisco's been a lot better. And remember, his last time out on the road was at the Dodgers. He only lasted 4 2/3, 6 hits, 5 earned.
Yep.
And he got Bumgarner at home, man. His last time out at home against Houston, complete game, 5-hitter, 1 earned, 12 strikeouts. That's it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to ride Bumgarner here.
Okay.
I might even, since I get it at 150, I got Harvey at 160. That Bumgarner Harvey parlay is a good plus money. You're talking like plus 135 there. Nice.
All right, man. So let's keep it moving, and I'm going to go from there. So the next one we have is San Diego at Colorado. What a nasty game. TK, I don't know how you're messing with this one, dude, but I wish you the best of luck here. I got even money all across the board, under-over of 7. San Diego has Ian Kennedy pitching versus Colorado's Chris Rawson, man. Dan, are you messing with this game?
I want to, but Coors Field has really jumped up and kind of bit me the last couple of days, or Mile High, whatever you want to call that fake baseball stadium.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I think the over of 11 here is spot on. I mean, you got Kennedy, who's 7-10 with a 4.37 against Russin, who's 3-5 with a 4.43. I don't know, man. I'm going to just stay away from it.
All right, big ups to my man, Hockey Immortal on Twitter this morning. Good morning to you, brother. How are you, man? It was great hanging out with you and meeting you in Las Vegas, dude. Can't wait to get some hockey puck lines popping. All right, because you know what? You know how I'm doing with the run lines, Dan, in baseball? I'm going to be involved with the hockey puck line as soon as hockey starts in October. Can't wait for that. So let's see. The next one I have on the ticket is, let's see, scrolling down, Cincinnati at the L.A. Dodgers. Cincinnati, Anthony DeSclafani versus L.A.'s Zach Greinke. L.A. minus 240 with an under-over of 7 runs, Dan. What you got here?
I mean, Greinke, 12-2 with 1.59.
Yes.
I mean, I think the Cy Young right now, you got to say it's coming down between him and DeGrom for sure.
All day.
And he's probably in the lead.
All day. And I'll be honest with you, Kershaw is kind of making a little statement for himself as well.
Yeah, but he's still I mean, at times, obviously, he's been absolutely dominant, but, he did have a rough start to the season, and, I mean, Greinke is definitely outshadowing him, but remember, Greinke was the same guy that got blown up at the Phillies a couple games ago.
Yep.
But in his last 7, he's still 6-0 with a 1.62. So I got no fear here. Like I said, I'm gonna ride this with that other the other big with the Cardinals.
And what does that pay? That's got to be like a minus 120, Dan, or minus 110, even money.
I gotta look exactly what it pays, but yeah, it's something like that. I'll take a look at it. I'll let y'all know exactly what the payout is.
All right, sounds good, man. I am looking at, that does look like a stellar play, parlaying those two, St. Lucia and L.A. Dodgers. Final game we got on the ticket is Sunday Night Baseball. We got the L.A. Angels at the Kansas City Royals. L.A. with Hector Santiago versus K. Sizzle's Giordano Ventura. K. Sizzle minus 140 with an under-over of 8 runs. Dan, this one's got me scratching my head a little bit.
Yeah.
Because Santiago's been kind of, not so bad. Let me just see what he's done in his last few outings here. Let's see.
He's 7-6 with a 2.87.
Okay.
Yeah,
so, he's been letting up a lot of runs recently, dude.
I know, and that's the thing. But Ventura. I'm a little confused. I'm only minus 128 here. I think I'm just gonna ride Kansas City. Just take that money line and play it. I think they win this game tonight pretty easily.
Big ups to my man Mike out there for retweeting our show. Thank you very much. Kansas City 9-1 in the last 10 games when playing the LA Angels, kid. And they're 9-2 in the last 11 at home. You're going to get that. That's going to be an electric atmosphere tonight in Kansas City on national TV for Sunday Night Baseball. I think they'll get the job done here and win this game. But I wouldn't expect a lot of fireworks in this game because Santiago. As of late, if you look throughout
he has been great.
Yeah, if you look at throughout the whole year, his ERA is sub 3, but for the most part, he's
but his last 3 starts at the Dodgers, he only lasted 5 innings.
Yeah.
He gave up 5 earned.
Right.
At Cleve, he gave up 3 earned, or home against Cleveland. And then at the White Sox, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned. So I gotta think that Kansas City gets it done. And by the way, that Dodgers Cardinals parlay is actually plus 102.
Wow.
I'm pretty invested in that.
That one sounds awesome. Dude, definitely Greinke. Absolutely, definitely Greinke.
Yeah, look, the Cardinals just win, baby.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
How is the Dodgers bullpen? I've heard some rumblings that they're not that good.
It's not very good. But I expect Greinke to go like 8 innings.
Okay.
And, the other thing here, too, is you got to look at, you got DeSclafani on the mound against him, who is 7-7 and with a 3.75. I actually expect the Dodgers bats, to wake up a little today. Look, DeSclafani is in his last 7 starts, he's 2-2 with a 4.57. He had that great game at St. Louis, but then Arizona tagged him for 10 hits and 3 earned his last start. So, look, I got to think that he comes out there and gets blasted today.
All right, sounds good, man. So I'm looking at this.
Right? He won't give up a run.
All right, so I'm looking at this, and I'm loving Greinke today on the money line, parlayed with Matt Harvey. That's the one I first looked at, Dan, and that's the one I'm going to go with. I love St. Lucia. I should probably put St. Lucia in there, but I'm going to take Matt Harvey just because I love to fade Jeff Locke.
Oh, no, I hear that, man. I'm actually doing, look, guys, this is something I'm doing just for Sunday fun day, but I'm actually going Greinke, Harvey, St. Lucia with Carlos Martinez, and then I'm also throwing in Bumgarner.
Wow, that's got to pay pretty badass.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it's like plus 572.
Ooh, Dan, you're making people excited with those numbers.
I like, look, I like to do aces parlays like this because look, you can really make some money. Look, but this is a personal, really gambly play. I don't expect it to hit. But the other thing, too, is if we get, if we see that these 1 o'clock games are ending in a favorable light, we might even be able to hedge on the Reds or something like that. We'll see. But, I mean, hey, it's a fun 4-teamer. Don't be putting a lot of money on it. It's just that fun.
Got it. All right, man. So that's pretty much going to do it for the show. Big ups to everybody that's retweeting. I'll announce your names in a minute. Let me just switch up my music and do our closing segment of the show. Dan, talk to me about your plethora of plays, please.
Yeah, so obviously I got that little fun 14 parlay, but my favorite play of the day is pairing the Cardinals with the Dodgers at plus 102. We're also going to pair the Giants and the Mets. That's like plus 160. So, and then look, I love the Cubs against Sale today, and I like the Braves. I also like the over in the Mariners Red Sox game and the Red Sox again today. So I'm gonna ride that.
All right, sounds good, Dan. Sounds good. So, guys, what I'm doing a Matt Harvey, Zach Greinke money line parlay. I'm going to money line the two of them, pair them together, because I think Matt Harvey can shut down this nasty Pittsburgh team, and Jeff Locke has not been all that. So, and obviously, Greinke versus Dave Sclafani for the Reds, I think is a no-brainer in my opinion. So, I think I'm going to put those two together, and whatever profits I make, I think I'm going to split it between futures with the Dodgers and the Mets.
Love it.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do, guys, and we are going from there, guys. So big ups to everybody that's out there retweeting our show this morning. We got BT, we got Lucas Wilbanks, James Knoll, MG86. I got Mike, I got the Hockey Immortal. Christos is out there. Let's see who else. Big ups to everybody in Cousin Jack's all the way in Australia. My man, Average Joe Prunter. Love you to death, brother. Got my man Yato on here. Got Jason, Riley. I've got, let's see who else, man. The list is crazy. I got Total Sports Edge. Let's see, Football Experiences. What's going on? Find an Aussie bookie. Got my man TK Wins. I got the Total Sports Edge. I already talked to you. JDH24, hashtag SBTV. Got the Direct Sports Solutions, Revelation of Random. I've got, let's see who else. OJFB, I got NFL Fans 2015, AL versus NL. My man Irvin is out there. Clown Man Swag, get a Vegas bookie. Oh, my God, dude, I'm going through my phone, so, guys, bear with me here when I'm trying to do this. Let's see, Joseph, Del Rosario. I got NFL Fantasy Plus. A lot of NFL guys popping, getting ready for rocking and rolling here, Dan. Heavy 365, Tyrone Reed, Ciroc King Jace, C. Rodriguez Jr., and Vegas Girl 92661.
Yeah,
guys.
And guys, for the fantasy football stuff, I'll have something for you next weekend.
All right, sounds good, man. We are Sports Bettors TV. We are the biggest show in the world, having an absolute blast every single day. We love you to death, guys. Go out there, go easy, do your own homework, bet your own plays, make all your dreams a reality, and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.